It is the detail that most beginners overlook, but it is one of the most important decisions that you will make for your leatherworking project. The thread. Get it right and your work will not just look amazing, but it will last a lifetime. Get it wrong and you will feel it on every single stitch that you make. Today we are diving deep into the world of thread, a video that loads of you have requested over the past 6 months, and I am finally doing it. So get ready, strap in, and let's enjoy this. What is it? Why does it matter? And how to choose the right thread for your leatherworking project, because it is not one size fits all. Whether you're just getting started or you've been stitching for years, understanding the thread you use is an absolute game changer when it comes to leatherwork. I'm going to break it down into three manageable, easy to understand steps: thickness, material, and finally, and most importantly, how to actually choose the right thread for what you're making. Let's get into it. Start with the biggest question I get asked in pretty much every video and post that I do on social media. And by the way, my social media, my Instagram is in the description box below. Go follow me over there. Let's start with thread thickness, because it is usually the first thing people notice, even if they don't realize they're noticing it. Something I love to say is perfection is unnoticeable. You will, when you see a piece, whatever it is that you made or whatever it is that someone else has made, and you notice something about it, not all the time, but most of the time, if you are noticing something, unless you do this every day for your job, if you are noticing something, it's because it's taking up mental space and there's something not quite right about it. So we're going to start out really basic. Thread thickness refers to the diameter of the thread. If you didn't already know this, measured in millimeters or 0.0 millimeters, that is what thread thickness is. And common sizes, now they do go smaller and they do go bigger, but thread sizes typically start around the 0.4 mark, 0.4 millimeters mark. Basically everything I say today is going to be in millimeters. 0.4 to about the 1-ish, they go thicker, and we'll get into that. But that's typically the range that we're talking about. In general, the thicker the thread, the bolder it's going to look. The more you're going to notice it, and the more of a statement piece that thread is going to be on your piece. And we'll get into choosing the right thread later on. Generally speaking, for a more refined look, you're going to go thinner. And for a more rugged, I hate that term, but rugged look. Rugged to me just normally means unfinished, but we're not gonna get into that can of worms today. For a more rugged look, you're gonna go thicker. So with that in mind, we're gonna start with about the 0.4 mark, 0.45 to be specific, which is the thinnest that I use, to around the 6. And I normally go either 0.4 or 0.45 or 0.55. And these are for smaller leather goods. So we're talking watch straps, card holders, bifold wallets, little pouches, these sorts of things. If you're going for a more refined look, you'll use a 0.45 or 0.55. Now, these are going to look more formal. If you go up in the thickness and you go more to the 0.65, 0.75, 0.85, and so on and so forth, up to about 1, you're going to be in the sort of middle ground of these are going to look bold. You're going to notice this stitch line a little bit more. I don't personally go this thick, and we'll get into why later, but you are more than welcome to if you would like. Once you get above the 1 millimeter, and people do on a regular basis go above 1 millimeter, but it's kind of a different industry to what I'm doing. That's shoemaking, that is industrial sewing machine stuff. You can get very, very thick thread, but if you're watching this video and it's normally because you watch some of my other pieces, that's a really, really thick thread. So when I'm working on, let's say, a card holder, I will use a 0.45. Because it's a little bit bigger, the pieces are not going to be under an enormous amount of tension, because you're putting it in your pocket, you're taking it out your pocket, putting a card in it maybe a couple times a day if you're feeling like a baller. That's not a lot of wear. There's not a lot of structural strength that your piece needs. You don't need a huge amount of strength in that, really, let's be honest. If you're making a belt, and this is something that you're going to be ratcheting around that post Christmas or post Easter waist, and you're holding your body weight on that, basically, because if your belt is fitted properly and it's a little bit snug, it's going to be putting quite a lot of tension on those stitches. So I want to use something stronger. We'll get into the materials in a moment, but for size wise, you want something a little bit stronger, because if you think about it, the mechanics of basically everything is, if it's, aside from like fancy materials, if it's thicker, it is stronger. And this is not the same for everything. Think about it. If something is thicker and you put the same amount of tension on it than something that's thinner, the thinner one's going to break first, isn't it? Let's be honest. If it's the same material. And something that a lot of beginners miss when they're starting, your pricking irons and your thread size, not material so much, but your pricking irons and your thread size matter enormously, and they go together, kind of. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but they kind of go together. So let's say you're working with a 0.3mm pricking iron, which is what my everyday pricking irons are. It's what I use for my card holders and my wallets and my bags. It's a 0.3mm. And then you try and put a 1mm thick, big old beast of a thread through that. You're going to struggle real bad. It's going to be really, really cramped. You're not going to get your nice angles, if you're using a French pricking iron, that you would otherwise. So you'd want to use something thinner. You'd want to use maybe a 0.45 or 0.55 with a 3mm pricking iron. Now, if you're going up to, let's say you're using a 5mm pricking iron, so the other end of the spectrum, something chunky, if you're doing something more rugged, you will, and if you try and then use the same 0.45mm thread in that, it's going to disappear, it's going to be lost, it's going to look like you barely stitched the thing. So you'd want to use something thicker for that. And it'll work out that if you're using those big pricking irons, it's probably because you're making something beefy. If you're making shoes, and I'm not talking about the ones with a zillion stitches around the outside. If you're making shoes with, I don't know, 5 stitches per inch, which is like a 6mm thread or so, 6mm stitching iron or something, you are gonna want big old thread in that, aren't you? And especially as it's trying to clamp those pieces of material together, you're gonna be using it on a foot. Like, those things take a abuse. And then on the other end of the spectrum, let's go tiny. Let's say you're doing a 2.7mm iron, or even smaller than that, because they go up down to like 11 stitches per inch or something. And I'll keep crossing between them. That's because some people use stitches per inch and some people use millimeters. So let's say you're doing a 2mm stitches, which is like a 11 or something silly. You're not going to be able to physically put a you're gonna struggle to put a 1mm thread through that, because you've only got a bloody 2mm between the holes. And that brings us nicely into thread materials. So let's talk about what thread is actually made of. We're going to be covering 2 types. There is a zillion types of thread out there, from like weird sinew things to fancy materials, but we're going to cover 2 of them today. We're going to cover polyester and we're going to cover linen, and we're going to be talking about the differences between them. Now, there are 2 main manufacturing methods when you're making thread. There is spun linen or spun polyester. And there is, I think it's called braided, but I will correct myself in the edit. I think it's called braided. Now, I prefer spun, and not because it looks nicer, which it does, but because when you are stitching, and I'll try and get some B-roll of this if I can, when you are stitching, the amount of times when I started with like a 0.8 millimeter tiger thread. Now that is really, really, really hard to stitch with, and I find it difficult anyway. And when you're putting one needle, when you have started the stitch and you're putting your second needle through the hole that already has one thread through it, the amount of time with a tiger thread that I have pierced that thread is ridiculous. I've never done it with linen, ever, because linen is round. Tiger thread is flat, or is more flat anyway. So I always use spun, sometimes polyester, but mostly I use spun linen. Now with polyester thread, there is obviously a benefit to it, otherwise people wouldn't have invented it and they wouldn't use it. There is obviously a benefit to polyester thread. It has become one of the more popular threads in modern manufacturing, definitely, and modern leathercraft. It has become more popular. It is more durable. That is an undeniable fact, that polyester thread is more durable than linen because it's plastic. And if you pull plastic, it stretches a little bit. If you pull linen, it snaps. So you can get more tension on your stitches with polyester than you can with linen. That is a fact. Come at me in the comments, because that is a fact. Polyester is stronger. I don't care what you've done to your linen thread, the same thickness of polyester I could get aside a thread. Come at me. Polyester is also entirely waterproof for the reasons that we've just talked about. So if you are making something that is going to be outdoors for its entire existence, so let's say you're making a modern saddle and it is going to be outside from the day you make it to the day it dies, it will be out in the elements, I would use polyester. The other thing with polyester is it's far easier to terminate the thread. With polyester, you cut it short and then you use a lighter and you melt it down. If you try and melt down a linen or any other natural thread, it'll burn and you'll get a crispy end and it will be absolutely so if you want something that's easier to get started with, go for polyester. Now on the other hand, linen is the traditional craftsman choice. It is about that simple. If you are doing traditional fine leather craft, you're probably using a linen thread. And it was one of the first materials ever created for stitching is linen thread, because it's natural. It's a spun fabric, maybe? I don't think that's the correct term for it, but it's a spun material. It's natural. It's made for eons. It has a distinctly different texture to polyester thread or nylon thread if you're talking about nylon, which we're not today, but it has a distinctly different texture. The majority, I know of one brand that isn't, but the majority of polyester thread is shiny. Plastic is generally shiny. Linen by itself, it's an entirely unshiny matte finish. You can make it a bit shinier if you wax it. Unlike with polyester, which you don't need to wax, linen thread, which by itself is biodegradable. If you put linen thread in a hole in the floor, it'll biodegrade, plastic won't. That brings us nicely onto choosing the right thread for your piece. What should you use for your leather piece? And it's multifactorial. It is a multi-stage thought process in every leather worker's head, unless you only have one spool of thread. So how do you choose the right thread for your piece? It comes down to the function of the piece, the feel you want to give your piece, and the finish of your piece. One factor to keep in mind, and one of the biggest factors I think about when I'm choosing what thickness of thread to use in my piece, is how many layers am I stitching? How many layers have I slapped together, glued, and am now trying to stitch? Because like we said before, the thicker the thread, the stronger it is. Let's say you're making a card holder and it is essentially 4 pieces of leather that you've stuck together, 4 thin pieces of leather that you've stuck together. You can afford to use something thinner because it's not getting a lot of wear. If it's a belt and your belt leather is 4.5-5 millimeters thick and you've got 2 layers of that, so you've got nearly a centimeter thick of leather, you're going to want to use something thicker. You've got your lining, exterior, piping, which is 2 layers of piping, because you've got your piping that you folded over. And then you've got exterior and lining on the other side, and they have all come together into this beautiful piped edge that you have created. There is no way in hell I'm stitching that with a 0.45mm thread. It's not gonna last. I will be using a 0.55mm thread, so nearly 6mm thread. Between poly and linen, that is your choice. If you want something traditional, then go for linen. If you want something that is modernized and you are just starting out, go with polyester. And if you don't want to learn how to terminate linen thread, go with polyester. If you're using a 3mm pricking iron, you want to use something that is thinner than if you're using a 5mm pricking iron, because it just comes down to the physics of how those threads sit within the stitches. It won't fit otherwise, or it'll look lost. So you need to decide, okay, I'm just starting out, I'm using a 4mm pricking iron, I'm using a 3mm pricking iron. I want to buy something that looks nice within that. And there's lots of photos of different thicknesses of thread. But please do also bear in mind that the difference in look between a 0.45mm thread and a 0.55mm thread, we're talking about 0.1 of a millimeter. Unless you have been doing this for years and years and years, you probably won't notice a difference visually. And if you do notice a difference, great, choose which one you like the looks of more. So one of the times I do use polyester thread is because there are some rather lovely threads that have effects on them. So they might be multicolored, they might be glow in the dark, UV, metallic. I've got a gold thread, I've got a green and blue thread, I've got a glow in the dark white thread, I've got all sorts of different threads. I've got 50 spools or something, god, more than that. Alright, that is a knot on thread. We have covered thickness, materials, uses, we've covered it all. Hope this has given you a better sense of how to choose the right thread for your piece. I really enjoy making videos like this. If you haven't already subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button at the bottom. It means the world to me. The channel is doing phenomenally and I cannot thank you enough. So if you have enjoyed this, please do hit that subscribe button. I'll be eternally grateful. If you have a favorite thread material or thread size, I would love to know in the comment section below, so please do let me know. I love hearing your leatherworking stories. And if you have enjoyed this, please hit the like button, leave me a comment and share this with all of your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Have a phenomenal week. I hope you really enjoyed your Easter break if you're watching this when it's released, and I will see you next time. Take care.